Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for the YPERIOS Excellence webinar. Just before we begin, you can see us, but we can't see you, and you're all on mute. So we will do questions at the end. So if you do have any questions, please use the question box to the bottom right of your screen. There's also a chat box, so please get involved. If at any point you have any questions, just type them in there and we will cover those for you at the end with our experts. So without further ado, I shall pass you over to Denis.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Glad to be with you to present, to do this webinar regarding the YPERIOS Excellence. Ludovic joined us to present. He's the chief of the beef breeding program in Oriva. And the idea is to present the breeding program here and also the advantages of the breed on beef and dairy. And if you have some questions, as said Anna, please free to ask us. We are here to do that. Just to start quickly, maybe you already know what is Synetics. I have just two slides regarding this. One is just Synetics is a merger between the two main cooperative insemination between Germany and France, between Innoval, who was before Evolution, and Masterint. And for Synetics export, we have also the main cooperative from the south of France, middle and the south of France, where we have ULC, Charolais-Niver, Capgen also for goat, BGS, and one of the most important is Oriva. For that reason, Ludovic is here, is on our shareholders regarding all the beef breed and also RD breed for export. And with this, it helps us to have a really wide range of breeds in terms of genetics, with the main dairy breeds with Holstein, Normand, Pied Rouge. I think a few weeks ago we got some presentation regarding this breed, and also huge presentation, huge portfolio regarding the beef. As you know, French breed like Charolais, Limousin, Partenaise, but also beef and dairy. And we are here regarding discussing the YPERIOS and especially YPERIOS Excellence. Okay, it's really short. Also, we have goat and RD breeds. I'll let you, Ludovic, to present what the main topic of today regarding the YPERIOS Excellence.
Thank you, Denis. Good afternoon. So we are going to spend some time this afternoon to talk about beef and dairy cross, and particularly the YPERIOS Excellence bulls you can obtain with Synetics UK, and trying to explain you how we managed to select those bulls and what are the characteristics. So just let me share the screen and my presentation right now. So we call the bulls dedicated for beef and dairy, especially selected for that, YPERIOS. That's the brand, meaning that those bulls are coming from specific beef and dairy programs, selection programs, and some specific genetic nucleus we built now for more than 50 years, trying to have the best solution for dairy breeders who wants to do beef and dairy. So even if in some country and in some farms beef and dairy is quite new, it's now many years that in our area in the south of France, it takes part of the strategy of the dairy farms, being an important part of their income, selling young crossbred animal, bringing added value to the farm. That's why we early developed some specific bulls and specific breeding programs to help the farmers and the breeders finding a right genetic solutions and listening to their expectations. So now, yes, it's more than 60 years we began to develop bulls, particularly on the YPERIOS Excellence Program. And of course, trying to find the bulls adapted to dairy breeders, because of course they are the first using this kind of bulls, and we know that they have very specific expectations, like very good calving years, short gestations, etc. But also beef industry trying to produce crossbred animals as the most adapted to what the beef industry needs as the carcass for its different markets. So what is making a huge difference with our competitors and other bulls a breeder can find to use as beef on dairy bull is that we are only dealing with proven genetics. Since the beginning, we had, of course, genetic creation programs, but also evaluation steps with an evaluation of the progeny of those bulls before proposing the most interesting ones for commercialization for the breeders to be able to buy straws to use those bulls in their farm. And of course, during all those years, we have developed some innovations trying to still have a good evolution of our breeding program, listening the requirements of the breeders. So 4 words to have on mind talking about YPERIOS. Of course, first we want performing genetics, performing at each step, at each level. Regarding first fertility, we have high skills on semen fertility, growth potential of the calves, and of course quality of the carcass conformation score as high as possible for an added value, to maximize added value when slaughtering the crossbred animals. Secure safety is really important, particularly when you are a dairy breeder and you want your dairy cows produce as much milk as possible in good conditions. So security is very good calving is. Using proven bulls is a warranty of having the result we are expecting when we are choosing regarding the proofs. So it's an high element helping to the security on the genetic choice and related to the accurate genetic values. And to finish, sustainable, having a large range of bulls available and still being connected with the feedback on results with breeders directly and meat industry. So 3 breeds are involved in the YPERIOS process, in the YPERIOS breeding program, but today we are going to focus especially on YPERIOS Excellence. So YPERIOS Excellence is coming from the Charolais breeds, that's Charolais animals, but since the beginning of our program, it has been a specific nucleus selected differently than the purebred replacement bulls to have the skills, the requirements we are looking after to produce beef on dairy and to have good results on beef on dairy. So since the beginning, a very high expectation on calving years, very strong selection on that point. Of course, in the other end, we have selected, and you may see that in the pictures of those bulls, animals with exceptional muscle development, with exceptional flesh in their body, to be able to transmit this potential when crossbred on a dairy cow, which often don't have lots of muscle in the carcass. So This is also possible thanks to double muscle gene. Those bulls are carrier of the double muscle gene. And what is a result of many years and many generations of selection is being able to have this exceptional muscle quality and at the same and very high carving ease. And that's all the job made by our beef and dairy genetic program. Related to those points, we have also selected the dressing percentage and without avoiding growth, without forgetting growth, because it's important also to have a good fleshy young calf. But if you want it to be performing during his whole life and particularly fattening period, growth, average daily gain is also, of course, an important trait to select. Well, the last specific trait we are working in the population in the nucleus is the pole gene. So the first heterozygous polled are already available, and we are trying to go on introducing the pole gene to be able to, in the following years, propose some homozygous, but still with the same requirements, with the same high skills regarding the traits making the difference on beef and dairy. So how does it work? Regarding all YPERIOS population, it's around 80 young bull calves born every year, mainly out of embryos coming from special matings, cumulative matings of our program. Those young calves, they are born in dairy farms out of the embryos, and we pick them up to enter our station at 1 month old, and then they are doing, well, all the raising period in our station until they become young adults. During that period, we are having different selection steps. Since the beginning, they are regularly weighed every month, and we are scoring morphology, particularly muscle development, at the younger ages, and then when they are becoming older. So after the weaning time, well, it's around the 65 best young males which are kept. Well, they are selected on morphology, on feet and legs, etc. To go to intensive growth control after weaning, when they are fed with the concentrate food, and we are controlling feed efficiency and growth until the age of 14 to 15 months old, when they are nearly ready to begin to produce semen. So at the end of those controls, the 35 best ones are qualified to go to semen production. And after semen quality controls, the target is to have 30 young bulls ready to produce the first rows to go to progeny testing. So how does it work? It's around 275 AI per each young bull managed on the commercial dairy farms. With all the YPERIOS bull tested every year, it's around 8,000 testing AI we are performing in all the country. So it's permit us to have between 80 to 100 crossbred calves per bull coming from the testing AI, representing the sample, permitting to have the first evaluation. On those young calves, we are having some birth information, birth weight, birth conditions, which are controlled by the breeder, but also by technicians. We are also scoring calf vitality, drinking abilities, to have some more information regarding how the first calves of the bull are behaving and to be able to have a first selection on that point. Then they are going to have their own, they are sold, they go into fatteners, and when they are slaughtered in the French system, every slaughtering information is feeding the database, national database, allowing us to obtain some proofs on carcass quality, carcass weight, slaughtering age, and of course conformation. So that's all those information of the first calves which give us the first proofs permitting to choose if the bull is able to go to the catalog and to be proposed to the breeders, or if we eliminate it because his progeny is not good enough, not regular enough. So on the 30 young bulls put on progeny testing, it's around 20 bulls which will be able to be widely spread by AI after the progeny testing with reliable proof for the customers to choose which bull is the most suitable for them. What is interesting is when a bull is going on to be used in France, well, every new AI giving a new calves is bringing some more information, increasing reliability of the proofs, and the system is so very accurate, particularly for the bulls when they are becoming even older. So three kind of proofs are available to make the choice and the selection. So the first one is the 3-week beef merit. So that's a specific evaluation we developed at Oriva, which is a way to know the quality of the young crossbreds when the dairy farmer, dairy breeder is selling it. So at 3-4 weeks old. How does it work? For all the first calves coming from the progeny testing AI of the bulls, a technician is going into the dairy farms to score morphology of the animal. We are focusing particularly on muscle quality. So that's the first proof called MP for the muscle progeny muscle score, and scoring the muscle development and width on the live animal, giving us very good information on how wide, how muscled is a young calf, and which is going to be its value when the dairy breeder is selling it. The second point is bones fineness, because it's important for 2 points. It's related to calving age, but also to carcass yield at the end of the life of the animal, and skeletal development, scoring the size and length of those animals, which is a good idea, a good predictive of the growth potential of those calves when they will be on fattening plants. So those three information are available for all excellence bulls. The second kind of proof available is those coming from the national database. Those I talked about just one slide before. 4 information are particularly important. IFNXT is the calving years index, so combining birth weight and birth conditions, making the difference. To remember you, maybe you know, but the average in our proof system, the average is 100. So when you have a proof of 100, you are at the average of the population, and when you are beginning to be above 100, is that you are better than the average, and the higher is proof, the better is the bull on that trait. So that's for birth weight and birth conditions. And then a growth potential proof based on the slaughtering age and weight, and conformation. When French people talk about conformation, that's the muscle in the carcass, the flesh on the carcass. So coming from the Europe score, which is the way of scoring carcass conformation in our slaughterhouses. And all those information are put all together in a synthetic egg index, a total beef merit index, the IAB, which is the index permitting to rank the bulls regarding beef abilities. And the third category of proof we are having is what we call the Euroval traits, that private evaluation we developed to have more information for dairy breeders on our bulls, to help them select also regarding those traits. Particularly gestation length. We know that it's very important for dairy breeders that to have bulls with short gestation length, and that's an evaluation we developed now 5 years ago. We are also having some information around the gestation rate of the bulls, which permit us to identify the bulls having the best gestation rate when used by insemination, and to finish an information about the percentage of stillbirth or healthy calves, to identify also the best bulls for that trait. So all those information, all the traits on well, calving years, gestation length, stillbirth, but also calf quality, calf value at 3 weeks. They are all put together and evaluated to give us a proof calculated in euro, which is expressing the added profit the bull is on average bringing when used on an Austrian cow. That's the Euroval information. So many information to allow us to select the most interesting bulls. That's on those information that, for example, we choose the bulls going to be proposed to the farmers, going to be proposed. Well, that's using those information that Synetics UK is selecting the bulls which can go to his range regarding the most important traits for the UK breeders. And you can also into them choose which bull is for you the most interesting, looking at those proofs. So we will come back with proof results when I will present you the bulls available for you. But just now, going on talking about YPERIOS Excellence Cross and having some references of results obtained in France. So just to begin with the table at the left side of the slide, on average in France, the results of the last years is that using an YPERIOS Excellence bull on an Austrian cow permit to have close to 96% of easy calvings, which is very high. And I, since the beginning, say that for us, it was really a very important trait, because we know that it's the main trait for dairy farmers. And here is the evidence that our selection permit to reach very high calving years percentage, which is close to what you have in purebred dairy in the farms. Which is very interesting with YPERIOS, and which YPERIOS bulls are known for that in the different countries and farm using, is the excellent gestation rate, which is on average 63% of gestations on the observation of the last 2 years, and the gestation length is on average 284 days. That's for the beginning when using on dairy cows, and to have some data coming from the results of the crossbreds for the breeders who raise them and fatten them. So the average daily gain from birth to slaughtering is between 1.1 and 1.3 grams per day. That's an average to give just a trend on what they are able to do. Of course, during the fattening period, the finishing period, it's even more. The last table here is showing the results coming from the slaughterhouses in France of the last years, to have some not only proofs but some references. Where do they what does they give when slaughtered, those crossbreds? So as a confirmation score, it's level of R equal to R minus on Holstein mother. So it depends. Well, when they are becoming older, in general, it's always a bit less. But on the males, even as a young bull slaughtered between 1 to 2 years old, you can expect on average R equal conformation score. The fat score is between 7.5 to 8 on 15. And the average carcass weight, you can have it here regarding the slaughter age. So the first column is veal production. They are slaughtered at 6 months old, 183 days. And the average weight, that's always Holstein crossbreds, 157 kilos. Then we have a part of the production which is becoming young bulls. They are slaughtered closer than 2 years old than one, on average at 22 months old, and the average carcass weight is 430 kilos. And one other production we have in France is heifers. That's the sisters of those young bulls, but they are slaughtered 1 year later, in general, after spending 1 year grazing before being finished. And so they are slaughtered in the end at 2.5 years old on average, reaching a carcass weight of 355 kilos. Well, it permits you to imagine which kind of performances you can obtain using those bulls on an Holstein cow after fattening the progenies. Well, we often compare or put in competition YPERIOS Excellence with Belgian Blue or Angus, which are two breeds used as beef and dairy solution. Just a few results comparing YPERIOS Excellence and Belgian Blue in our population. Well, what is making a big difference is the calving ease, and particularly it's represented here with the average calf weight at birth. On average, the YPERIOS Excellence crossbreds are 2.4 kilos less on the males than a Belgian Blue Holstein cross, and 1.4 for female calves. That is one of the main reasons of the difference into calving years. And what is making also a big difference is the average gestation rate, which is calculated on the same way, on the same areas and same conditions. The gestation rate of YPERIOS Excellence is 7.5% more than Belgian Blue Cross. And another point making the difference between the two kind of bulls is that at slaughtering, we have a better fat score at the slaughterhouse for YPERIOS Excellence crossbreds rather than Belgian Blue Crosses. Another comparison we can do is with Angus. This is coming from a study made in Iran where they wanted to compare Charolais Excellence crosses on Holstein cows and Angus. And what is also interesting is to have the comparison with the Holstein purebred. So they made that study 5 years ago, and it's very interesting to have a look to those results. First, they look at the average daily gain of the young bulls coming from the two crosses and Holstein Pure. And the first thing is, well, that's not a surprise, but the YPERIOS Excellence cross are the one having the best average daily gain, better than Angus and much better than an Holstein purebred. At the same time, we have a far better feed conversion ratio. They calculated using the weight, and they measured what they were, the quantities they were eating, and well, even if the numbers are coming from the system where the animals have been fattened, what is very interesting to focus on is the differences. And excellent Charolais, thanks to his muscle potential, the double muscle gene, is producing much more muscle than fat, whereas Angus is producing much earlier fat, and you need much more energy to produce fat than muscle. So you have a worse feed conversion ratio when you are producing much fat, and that one of the explanation, but also with the efficiency of the YPERIOS Excellent cross, which is a huge point when you are fattening. You need less food to produce 1 kilo carcass in the end. The average slaughtering age was 16 months, whatever the cross or the Holstein Pure. And in the end, so you can compare the carcass weight, so it's directly related with the average daily gain. So the YPERIOS Excellence, they reached 307 kilos at 16 months, whereas the Angus were just 280, so only 6 kilos more than the Holstein Pure. In carcass weight, the difference is also increased by the carcass yield or dressing percentage, which was 56% for the YPERIOS Excellence cross, whereas Angus was just 51%, just 1 point more than Holstein Pure. And what is also interesting is carcass quality with animals able to have some superior proportion of valuable cuttings, which was estimated measuring the longissimus muscle area, that's the muscle of the loin of the animals, showing that those crossbred had much more good cuttings, and so valuable cuttings permitting to have added value, making more money when you sell the carcass. So in their system, they try to calculate a profit per head, counting the income when they sold the carcasses, and also all the costs of production they had. And as you can see, the difference was huge in the end between YPERIOS Excellence and what they could obtain with Endless Cross. So that was the general information I wanted to share. Of course, if you have some questions, like we just said at the beginning, you can use the chat to answer some more information, or if some things you want, yes, you want me to explain back, don't hesitate to answer us. Now I'm going to present you rapidly the 4 bulls available for you. So to begin, sexy excellence is the one having the highest curving index, which I told you that the average index is 100. We are here with a bull with 115, which is very high. So a very easy carving bull with very short gestations regarding the beef and dairy bulls available. And what is very interesting is, even if he is making small, is giving small calves at birth, they are expressing very good early conformation on the first weeks, giving young crossbreds with good muscle roundings to have a good price at 3 weeks. Very high bone fineness also. So that's a typical bull to use for if you want very easy calving and bring and have a crossbred calf with added value, because when you are selling it at 3 weeks or 1 month out of your dairy farm. The second one is Rudy, is not so far from sexy. They are very close as a type of bulls. The calving conditions are excellent, with 113 as a calving proof. So, even from the bulls coming from our progeny testing program, you can see that we propose you the best ones, those having the highest proofs for calving and having the shorter gestation length. This bull is also interesting because he's widely used in France and he is having excellent gestation rate. So coming from our Euroval evaluation, he is recognized for the very good gestation rate when used by AI. So it's a bull having a particularly good precocity, making some calves expressing early muscle, and so showing good flesh roundings early to force the dairy farmer to maximize the price at selling. The third one is Plateau. Plateau has good calving just a bit less than the former ones, but he's 111, so it's still an excellent proof. The same, selected because he is also producing short gestations. If we compare to the 2 former bulls, it's a bull which will be able to bring a bit more potential on the calves, a bit more growth and development to reach more weight when the calf is 1 month old and after, when fattening. So he is one of the best compromise between the calving years and the calf potential for added value after weaning and fattening. And the last one is Rum P. So why P? Because P means polled. So this one is an heterozygous polled. That's an important trait if you are looking to have some polled animals, when you are raising them, it will produce 50% of polled directly. His calving is 111, so the same as Plateau, and like that Plateau, it's a bull making a good compromise between calving is. You can see that he has a very fine bones, and the development, muscle development, and growth potential, skeletal development, his calves are able to develop after weaning to reach very good slaughtering weights after fattening. So that the fourth bull available for you in the Synthetics UK offer. So I have now finished to present you my slides. I hope you have learned something and have obtained information you wanted, but just take time to have some